Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So you're wide awake after lunch, I can see that now. So today I'm here to show you what is new in Dart and Flutter. It's not so new anymore, it's more than 1 month already. But I hope it's still new to some of you. So first of all, I will have to say that I have 45 minutes for this talk, but I do not have enough content for 45 minutes. So I will need your help to make it interactive so that I can drag the time longer. Can you help me? Thank you. So let's have a little introduction about me. Anki already mentioned most of my titles, so you can see that I am GDE, I'm Senior Flutter Developer, I'm GDE, I'm Women Techmaker Melbourne Ambassador, I'm also GDG Organizers in Melbourne, in GDG Melbourne, and I'm also a mentor at MentorMe. MentorMe program is an on-job training program by Vietnamese for Vietnamese, but we are open for any nationality as well. So if you want to join, come and talk to me. We accept both mentor and mentees as well. So let's talk about this rumor. I know that by now everybody knows this is a rumor and this is not true. Actually, I still do not know why I still keep it here, but I just want to make it things clear once again that it is the rumor. Because right now, I'm standing right here, tell you about Flutter. So if Google does not support Flutter anymore, I'm not here. I'm invisible, okay? So one more thing is that you can scan this QR code to see the roadmap, what is planned out for Flutter in 2024. And if by end of 2024 you do not see everything on that roadmap, you can change the Flutter team. I will join you. I'll be the first one to join you. Okay, since morning until now, are you tired of AI yet? Never. Okay, good. So are you still confused between Gemini and Gemini? Okay, in the next slides, I'm going to show you a video. It's summarized of Google I/O in 1 minute, 1 minute and 9 seconds actually, and you will have very clear understanding how to pronounce the word. Listen. So, how to pronounce the word? Let's listen again. How to pronounce the word? How? Okay. Gemini. Actually, in Vietnam, I also pronounce it as Gemini. I thought everybody over there would pronounce it as Gemini, but then nobody pronounces it as Gemini. Okay, follow up on the topic, Gemini topic. So, Sundar, during Google I/O keynote, he mentioned that the word AI is mentioned in the keynote 121 times, right? But according to that video I just showed just now, and according to the GDE in machine learning, who made that video, he said that the word Gemini was mentioned 161 times. And that comes with this big news. During Google I/O, Sundar announced that the Gemini 1.5 Pro is upgrade to have 2 million tokens. And at that time, he mentioned it's coming soon. But right now, it's already in action. It's already available. So if you go to AI Studio right now, and you switch to use Gemini 1.5 Pro, you will have 2 million tokens right now. And you can try to send a 2 hours videos just to try out. I tried and I gave up because after 5 minutes, my internet connection could not send that 2 hours video. So let's come to Flutter news. What do you think Flutter news will be after I show you everything about Gemini? Nobody? Really? Pardon? What do you think the update for Flutter News will be after I show you everything about Gemini? Gemini. Yes. So the first update for Flutter is generative AI is now available in Flutter. In short, Gemini in Flutter. So the updated version is 0.4.2. And actually, I already tried this package when it was released in the early version, which is 0.2.2. And in that version, it was very basic, does not have anything. Compared to 0.2.2, 0.4.2 have supported batch embedded content. I haven't tried yet. I have no idea what that is. I think this morning Phil already showed us a little bit about that. And it supports two models. That is a very good thing because I have one two model that I wanted to try. And then it supports file path, function call, function response, and also support my type. Instead of telling Gemini, this is the JSON I want, please respond this. So I can just simply tell Gemini, send the content tab as application JSON to the generation config, and then it can give me back a JSON. That is very cool. Now, I show you this in action. So this version over here is the version that I used when the generative AI package in Flutter was still 0.2.2. At that time, the prompt is everything I have. I only have the prompt and I do not have anything else. No audio input, no image input, and then I have to use some other tools in order to make the voice function work. So this is how it looked like.
I spent $50 for lunch with friends.
Okay. You may not see all the work in the background, but the work that I've done for this demo is massive because I have to use the recorder in order to record the voice. I have to use speech to text in order to get the text out from the audio. And then I send that text as string to Gemini at that time. And because I use speech to text at one time, I can only choose only one language. That is why the early version, it can only use English and it does not understand other language. And also, I could not use my file 2 model. So I have to load all the information up front, and then I have to get back the JSON. I have to give example to Gemini in the prompt that this is the format I want. And sometimes it gives me the answers like triple quote, okay, here is the code that you want, and then it gives you the JSON. And in the end, I cannot pass the JSON. So at that time, my line of code was more than 50 lines of code just for this function. After that, I changed to the upgraded version. The upgraded version, I used 0.4.2, the version 0.4.2, and the code is down to 15 lines. Let's see the demo first.
Today I have dinner $75 at a Vietnamese restaurant.
One language.
Lát nữa đi ăn tối nha. Tối nay ăn tối hết 30 đô.
Okay, so that is the demo, and on that work with only 15 lines of code. Okay, the 15 line of code is because on the prompt I put in one line. Okay, actually the prompt for this is more complicated. So I used function call to get all the categories, and I use I still use the recorder, but the recorder, instead of using speech to text to get the text out, I send the audio directly to Gemini. That is why I can use multilingual over here. Okay, so with the multilingual and with the help of Gemini, I'm able to just simply tell people, I added multilingual into my app. Oh no, I did not. I just let Gemini do the work. Any questions so far? I'm supposed to finish all this in 10 minutes. Okay, so now let's look at how I did it. Okay, so with all the source code, I put all the source code over here. And the first one is that I use the recorder, the voice recording. I use a recorder package. And the part that I like the most is that there are two options to send data to Gemini. One is the data part and one is the file part. So if you use file picker or image picker, you can simply send the file to Gemini instead of reading the byte out. But if you are using the streaming, then you have the option to send the stream, the byte stream directly to Gemini instead of converting it to file. So it's very flexible for you when you want to choose which type of data you want to send. With function declaration and function call, this is where most of my 15 lines come, and it's actually tiring. Okay, in order to use the function call, I need to create the function declaration. And the function declaration, the description itself is a prompt. So you will have multiple prompts in the same prompt. The first prompt is the input from the users, and then the introduction, what role the Gemini will do, and then what expected output you want to get out. And with the description for the function call, function declaration, each of the description for the function is a prompt itself. You have to explain clearly what the function is for, what input it wants, and what output it wants. And then in the function declaration, there will be schema if you have input. So each of the schema has its own description as well, and those descriptions are prompt again. So that will be a lot of prompt to write. And after you receive the response from Gemini, as you can see over here, instead of directly checking whether Gemini responds any text at all, first of all, I have to check whether there's any function call is required by Gemini at all. Because if there is function call, meaning that Gemini is having a question to ask for more information. So it can be multiple function call, multiple question asked back and forth, and it will continue asking for functions if there's still information needed. Therefore, the function call check is in a while loop, and after I get the function response, I add it into the original content. Because I do not use a chat session over here, I use a generate content. That is why I add it into the original content and send it again. It's not so good though. I will try the chat function later. Okay, the data part is something new in 0.4.2, generative AI 0.4.2. And with this, because I use the recording in a stream, so I use data part instead of file part. There are two ways to send the data part. One is to send it as part of the content. So you can create a content and then you can create a data part and send it. Another way is to send it as a content itself. So you can just use the content.data part and just send the data. One notice over here is the MIME type. You will need to specify the MIME type for each of the data you send out. Because Gemini does not know what information that is, so that is why you have to tell Gemini what information that is by telling it what is the MIME type. And the MIME type over here, because I know, yes.
Create, like you said, there are two options, add or create. Can you create with a text directly and mix it up with the audio?
Yes, yes. So in order to create it as the as the content together with the text. You can create just the content object, and the content object will take a list of parts. So data part is one of the part, and you can add another part as text part. For example, I put the text above there. So in one content, you can have multiple parts inside it. Otherwise, you can just send the data itself by creating the content.data. Thank you so much. Okay, here's the troublesome part. And here is where I say that my prompt is super long and is in one line. That is how I create the whole thing in 15 lines. So the function declaration, what I find is that function declaration is tiring. So you know, right? You will have to give a function name. And one of the tips over here is that the function name is for you to know what it is. It's not, and it's for you to communicate with Gemini. It's not for Gemini to read inside your code to find that function name. Right? So the function name over here, you can put any string in there as long as you know exactly what string that is, because when Gemini responds with a function call, it will give you back the function name, and you will need to compare it exactly with the function name that you define. The next part is the description. This description in the function declaration, I did it in a way of try and error. So I tried it multiple times until Gemini can actually understand what that function is for. And for the schema is for the input. So if you have only one input, you can use schema one input, and it is how to say, a primitive type. For example, string, integer, double, boolean. You can use just schema.integer, schema.number, something. But usually I use schema.object even though I have only one input. The reason is because in the function call, when the function call return, all these input will be returned as a map, string and value. So when you return just when you give it just one param, I'm not sure what the key name will be, and it will be very hard to get it out, like read the value of the map and then get one item out. I don't want to do that. So it will be easier if I just give a schema.object and then I give it a name for the property that I want. Then I can directly get the object out, get that item out with just the key. And with schema.object, you can use it with single input, multiple input in terms of object, anything. It's so much easier to use it that way. Handle function call. So remember when I tell you that the function name is for you to communicate with Gemini, this function call, it will return you with the function name, and you will have to check that function name compared to the function name that you give in the function declaration. So if you do not define the param for the function declaration, for example, the source code over here is all rubbish because I do not define a param for all the function name, and if there's a mistake in handling the function call, my code will just not run as I expected. And in the function call, I will just compare the name with the defined name of the function in the declaration, and I get the param out. All the params is from the function called argument, and it is a map of values. So you can get it out easily. So once you identify what function it is, yes. Okay, how about I just point it up? Okay. Okay. Yes. So it's up right there. Yeah. So with that function call up right here. Yeah. With that, you will have to check the function name. Here, is it easier? Yeah, okay. So with this, you will have to check the function name, and the function call will return a name over here. You check the function call name compared to the name. This is the name that you define in the function declaration. After you get that name and you identify that, this will need to map to the function in your code, and that function does not need to be the same name. Okay. I should not jump. And you can invoke that function, and after you invoke that function, you get the data out. You will have to add the function response into the list of the prompt. So over here, I create a list of function response, and then I add it into the list of function response, and then in the end, I create a content of function response and add it back into the original content. And from there, I will send the original content with the new function response back to Gemini to generate the new content. In this function response, there's a tip over here is that if you use the keyword response, then Gemini will use the content in your response keyword to generate the text for the response. But if you use the keyword as result, then it will use that information to, add on into the response that it generated. So one is that it will use mostly all of your text in the response that it will give. And one is that it will use the result that you give it to add on into the text it generates. Yeah, so that is something that I figure out after I try with this multiple times. But it's quite interesting to see how Gemini react differently on different way of prompting, and it will react differently. That's so cool. Okay. After doing all that, here are a few tips that I learned. Number one is that Gemini is an intern, but I have to say that Gemini is a smart intern with photographic memory, but do not know what to do with the information. So that is why you will have to give very clear detail in your prompt, step by step if needed, because that is how you tell Gemini what to do with all the information that it has. Otherwise, good luck to you. Another way is that Gemini can be stubborn sometimes. For example, if you make any mistake in your prompt, it does not tell you that there's a mistake because it does not know. So it will just simply go the wrong way. And when Gemini behaves differently, weirdly, most likely you will have to go to check on the prompt, on the description in the function declaration. Even if you use Copilot or anything, you still have to perfect your prompt before you do that. Yeah, because the prompt is the way for you to interact with Gemini and tell it step by step. And because Gemini will take your word exactly as it is. So if your word has a minor defect in it, Gemini does not know. And it will take it as your intention. That is your intention. That is why you will have to verify your prompt over and over until you get the perfect result that you want. No, actually no. That one is only used in the normal context, meaning that if you already have information, not to say information, if you already have a context for it to data for it to read from, it can generate and it can guess what is next. But with my case over here, because we are writing the prompt and we tell Gemini to act differently in the very restricted way, so it does not really, yes, that's right. Actually, it tried to screw me up more. And while writing on that script, I actually drink a lot of coffee just to cool me down before I can get things right. That is why I added the last line, coffee help. that is all the fun with Gemini. Okay, I promise no more Gemini from now on. No, actually I lie. There will be more Gemini, but not today. So the next update in Dart and Flutter is a macro. Macro is already in experiment, and you can try it if you switch to the master channel. Here is the link right here if you want to read more about it. But here are a very short introduction about macro that I learned. So it's a new way for build runner. And when I write the function declaration with a lot of schema, a lot of text, certainly I think if I use macro to generate the function declaration, that'd be cool. But it's still just a note in my checklist. So it's not going anywhere yet. But if you want to try it out, you can switch to the master channel. And you remember to upgrade your Dart version environment to 3.5 and above. I think the number is in the next slide. Yeah. The first package that is available for macro is called JSON Codable. And here is the QR code. You can scan this QR code to learn more about this JSON Codable package. So it is called the first JSON Codable, the first macro available, and is on the master channel. You will need the Dart version 3.5.0 and 152 or later in order to run it. Here are a few steps to set up. Summarize is easy. Switch to the master channel and then ensure that the Dart version is 3.5.0, 152 or later. Update the pub spec and run the command to add the JSON package and then enable the macro experiment in the analysis.
Saru English.
And then import the JSON package and use the tag JSON Codable and enjoy. I haven't tried it yet. But it looked quite easy, and because I'm more interested in creating my own macro, so maybe I will go to this package, I go to the source code to figure out how I can create my own macro based on the source code over here. But look like it's very interesting way instead of using JSON serialized that you have to create your own from JSON to JSON. This package can do all that, and you don't have to run the build runner command anymore. That means that you will save at least 5 seconds on typing the command. And also, whenever you make changes to your source code, the generated package will be updated immediately. It's super cool. So if you go to this link over here, you will see a demo how it looks like. But I'm still more interested in the function declaration. I'm coming very near to my end of the slide, and how long do I have? 150? Okay, good. I will still have time for Q&A, don't worry. And thank you so much. I spent so much time on questions. Okay, the next update is WebAssembly. So if you are as much crazy into Flutter for web as me, you will be very excited about this. Do I sound excited? Yes, I am. I'm excited that WebAssembly is stable, and because it's stable right now, I can try it. I tried it on my company's project, and I failed because the limitation is that you will need all your dependencies to support WebAssembly. So that is why I sound very excited. It's still not yet default though. So if you want to enable it, you will have to run the command flutter build WASM. If you want to learn more about it, WASM for that, you can scan this QR. Or if you want to learn how to use WASM in Flutter, you can scan this QR. I put it in the center because I go to this website a lot. And then in order to use WebAssembly in Flutter, you will need to migrate your web interrupt to the new implementation. And if you do not know how to do it, here's the QR code how to do it. I tried. I swear, I tried. Yes?
I have a question. I haven't used WebAssembly and Flutter. Could you just give us like just the pros and cons of using WebAssembly versus not using it?
Okay, that pro and cons is in this demo.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So here is the list of the current known limitation. So the first limitation is that the WebAssembly can only be run on Chromium browsers. Chromium browsers, file list of Chromium browsers, the first version is Chrome. The first app that I think of is Chrome. Others, please Google. It also needs the Chrome 1.19 and later. And I have no idea that Chrome actually have version until I learned about this WebAssembly. And I listed that the new JS interrupt here as a limitation because I stand from a developer point of view. Why can't it work? Why I have to do more work in order for it to work? That is why I added here as a limitation, but actually it's not a limitation, it is just a progress. So you will have to migrate your own JS interrupt to the new JS interrupt because WebAssembly will need the right to access your JS API, that is why. And lastly, it currently only supports on the Flutter build, so no debug. Flutter run, it doesn't, you do not see the WebAssembly over here. And this app, the Wanderers app, was used last year to demo the Impeller for iOS. But this year is once again used to demo the WebAssembly and also Impeller for Android. So if you go to this app over here, you will see that this app is very heavy animation. And the website is built with WebAssembly enabled. So if you go to the website and you try it out, you can see that the animation works very smoothly. But if you download the source code, I think my QR code expired. That is why I hide the QR code over here for the source code. But if you go to search for the source code of the Wanderers demo and you try to run it without WebAssembly, you will see the difference. So the pro and cons for the WebAssembly is that one, it runs smoother on all the Chromium devices, Chromium browsers, and secondly, it provides better way for the JavaScript to interact with the JavaScript API. That is the two pros that I know. Cons, there was a list of limitations I already mentioned, including the additional work for developer in order to use it.
Is that compiling your Flutter app to WebAssembly, or is it just parts of it that you want to be WebAssembly?
When I successfully run my app in WebAssembly, I'll let you know.
So if you build for WebAssembly, you're saying does it fall back if the browser is compatible, will it fall back to JavaScript?
Yes, it will fall back, but right now I'm not quite sure what it will fall back to. So I may need to check that information, what it will fall back to, because on Android, no, it is a different topic. It's a different topic really.
Does that mean that the size of your app then is going to be bigger because it's going to have to fit two sensors?
I'm not sure about that yet because I haven't successfully built it yet. Okay, finally we come to the last update on Flutter and that. So as you know that Impeller is already available for iOS since Google I/O last year. This year Impeller is mentioned again. That is now available for Android device, but only for Android device with Wonka support. I have no idea why. Maybe Wonka is more, how to say, advantage than others. So in order to enable Impeller for Android, you can just run the command Flutter run enable Impeller. Note that if your device does not have Wonka support, then the Impeller the renderer will fall back into OpenAI. No, OpenGL. I'm sorry, I promise no more AI. Sorry. If you are too lazy to write the command all the time, you can actually edit it in the Android manifest. Edit it one time, run all the time, and still fallback will happen. And if you want to check whether your device has Vulkan support or not, then here are the two links. The first link is to easily install the Vulkan app and run it, and it will give you information to identify whether your device has Vulkan support or not. The second way is the full document with a list of different ways to identify whether your device has Vulkan support or not. But to me, the second link has a list of ways to confuse you whether your device has Vulkan support or not. And I believe that's all. I'm 8 minutes early, so do you have any question? Yes.
Might be on the roadmap, but I would like to see Flutter built for other devices like Apple Watch.
That is the request that I have been asking long time, and the answer is that if you want it, you build it yourself. Here is my face when I receive that answer. Yeah, that's the face. Any other question?
Even though for IoT, what's the future of applications? Do you see just part of the one that you introduced here? Or
Actually, the sky is the limit. Yeah. Anything you can think of, anything you
this application for the watch, which is an IoT application,
yes,
you have to develop all yourself.
yes,
How do you
yes.
get support for that?
It depends on what type of support that you need. So if you need technical support, yes, Google can provide technical support.
To set up the environment is very difficult. You do that all the time. Setting this and the other part of but devices, that is part that I always want.
You just need to do it once, and once the environment is up, the work is going on, and if there's any update, you just maintain it.
Cool. Sorry, one more question.
Yes. Why do you have to ask me that question? Yeah, actually, Google also released an article when to choose KVM, KMV, and when to choose Flutter. So Flutter is more on the cross-platform UI platform, and KVM is not KVM. KMP is more on business logic sharing. Yeah, but then it's still new. So maybe we shall see how it goes, how it will compare with Flutter. I'm biased. I'm Flutter GDE, so of course I'm biased. Flutter forever.